Hello, happy people. I hope you are having an amazing day today. Today, I wanted to do my review of a poem done by H.P. Lovecraft called The Ancient Track for you folks. This thing is about 2 stanzas long for you folks, and I thought it would be fun if I just did a quick little take on it. It was published in Weird Tales in 1930 and so forth for you folks. And it's I had never read any of his poems. Back when I was in college, I picked up a 3-volume collection. The first one was earlier horror things that were more inspired by Poe. His middle period that was more inspired in fantasy by Dunsany, and was the second volume. And the third one were his light period, Cthulhu mythos stuff in that shared universe of things that he brought over, like Nyarlathotep and from the dreams from his dream universe, and the Necronomicon from his horror stuff, and then he put it all together in the Call of Cthulhu, which we come up with the Call of Cthulhu mythos from it, right? And that sort of a thing. So I thought it would be fun for me to do a poem by him, but because I've never read them, and I just recently found out that there is a collection out there called The Ancient Track for you folks that I've never read. For you folks. So I thought that might be interesting. And I'm like, why would you call it The Ancient Track and Other Poems rather than Funky from Ugoth, right? And that sort of a thing, which I thought would be more of his classic work. So I thought I'd read The Ancient Track to see what I thought about it. And I thought this was a little, I had never read it. It's only 2 stanzas long. So I thought you might be interested in joining me along with it and so forth. So I'm reading this on my phone and so forth. So if you see me look down or misstate something, that's because I'm reading it right from on my iPhone. All right. There was no hand to hold me back. That night I found the ancient track over the hill and strained to see that fields that teased my memory. This tree, that wall, I know them well. On all the roofs and orchards fell familiarly upon my mind, as from a past not far behind. I knew what shadows would be cast when late moon came up at last from back of Zamon's hill, and how the veil would shine 3 hours from now. And when the path grew steep and high, it seemed to and against the sky, I had no fear of what might rest beyond that silhouetted crest. Straight on I walked, while all the night grew pale and phosphorescent light, and vale and farmhouse gable glowed unearthly. By the climbing road there was the milestone that I knew, 2 miles to Dunwich. Now the view of ancient spire and roofs would dawn, with 10 more upward paces gone. There was no hand to hold me back. That night I found the ancient track and reached the crest to see outspread a valley of the lost and dead. And over Zamon's hill the horn of a malignant moon was born, to light the weeds and vines that grew on the ruined walls I never knew. The foxfire glowed in field and bog, and unknown waters spewed a fog whose curling talons mocked the thought that I had ever known this spot. Too well I saw the mad scene that my love past had never been, nor was I now upon the trail descending to that long dead vale. Around the fog, ahead the spray of star streams in the Milky Way. There was no hand to hold me back. That night I found the ancient track. All right, and there you go for you folks. And so I think this is an interesting opportunity for why is this the central named poem of the collection, The Ancient Track, rather than Funky from Ugoth and so forth. There you are. It's definitely talks about Dunwich and so forth. I don't know if this is actually in the Cthulhu mythos because of that call out or not, right? And so forth because of that call out and such. So I don't know if this would be something like Funky from Ugoth is in the Cthulhu mythos that I recently went and read for the first time for you folks. I do like this. I think it's a fun thing, and it's very, very. Yeah, so I thought it would be fun for you to read it along with me for the second time. I just read it the first time a couple of days ago for you folks. It's harder for me to review poetry because I'm not a poem fan. I don't typically read a bunch of poetry and such. I'm typically more of a fiction and short stories and novellas or novels and that sort of a thing, right? I'm not typically reading poetry, so I don't. It's right, and it's a faster one. I like details and such. And the recurring theme of "There was no hand to hold me back" that night I found the ancient track, coming into it 3 times. I like that recurrence too. So I'm probably going to be giving this a 7 out of 10, but with those caveats and so forth. But what did you think? Have you read this? If you so, and have you not, and just appreciated it for the first time? I'll also link it to you in the comments below in case you're interested in reading it another couple of times, or you couldn't hear my thing, or you didn't like the way I was reading it and that sort of thing. It's no problem. I'm not going to lose any sleep. So there you are. But let me know what your thoughts are, and if you agree or disagree with my 7 out of 10 for this 2-stanza poem for you folks. And there you are. Thanks again for reading, and I appreciate it. I thank you so much, for taking some time out of your day and investing it and watching my videos, because we all have so many things, right, that are happening in our lives, and we're pulled in so many different directions. So the fact that you spent this time with me, that's incredibly humbling, and I appreciate it so very, very much. And then I want to thank you. And then, if you like this video, why not hit the subscribe button, the like button, the bell icon if you're feeling frisky, be notified of my videos. I try to do 3 of these away for you folks, of these videos of older things and such, in fantasy, science fiction, and horror. And that's where the passion of this channel comes from. And also, it's named The Worst Thing About New Books, which is a quote by a French philosopher, Jacques Joubert, who said in his novel that the worst thing about them was that they kept us from reading the old ones. There's definitely some older stuff. And his poetry probably isn't well read, as it probably should have been, especially, except for maybe Fungi from Yugoth and such, which I just read. All right, and there you go. Thanks again, and have an amazing day.